Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Booksmart Bitches. I'm your host, Erica, your guide on this enlightening journey. Today's episode promises to unravel the intricate and scientific connections between our mind and gut in Emran Mayer's thought-provoking book, The Mind-Gut Connection: How the Hidden Conversation Within Our Bodies Impacts Our Mood, Our Choices, and Our Overall Health. Now, last week, we delved into the revolutionary approach of intuitive eating, exploring how this anti-diet philosophy can transform our relationship with food and our bodies. This week, we shift our focus to the mind-gut connection, uncovering the intricate link between our gut health and mental well-being. Join us as we explore the fascinating science behind how our gut influences our mood, emotions, and overall health. Now, a little bit of background on the author. Emran Mayer is a physician, professor, and researcher known for his work in the field of gastroenterology, neurobiology, and mind-body interactions. Dr. Emran Mayer's interest in the mind-gut connection began during his medical training, where he observed the profound impact of stress and emotions on patients with gastrointestinal disorders. This sparked his curiosity about the complex interplay between the brain and the gut and led him to pursue research in this field. Dr. Mayer's research has focused on understanding how the brain and gut communicate in health and disease, with a particular emphasis on the role of the gut microbiome in brain-gut interactions. His work has shed light on the complex mechanisms underlying conditions such as irritable bowel syndrome and has opened up new avenues for the treatment of gastrointestinal disorders. Emran Mayer, MD, is a professor in the departments of medicine, physiology, and psychiatry at the David Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA. He is a leading authority figure in the field of brain-gut interactions and has published over 400 scientific articles and has received numerous awards for his research, including the Distinguished Scientist Award from the American Gastroenterological Association. That is quite the mouthful. I wanted to mention all of this because it is truly remarkable just how passionate Dr. Emran Mayer is about his work. He's dedicated his entire life to this study, and he has conducted so many experiments and research regarding this topic, and I applaud him for going above and beyond with his scholastic achievements that he's made thus far. Now, why did I even choose this book, The Mind-Gut Connection? For me personally, this book fascinates me so much. I am so intrigued by the human body, and I think as a society, we often overlook the importance of how it functions and how it affects our conscious and subconscious mind. And it's not just important to me, but I also think it's crucial to anyone who is seeking a holistic approach to their well-being and health to not know this information. It's important. Now, there are some core concepts that Emran explains in his book. He does take us on a journey through the human body, and let's just dive in. So one of the first things he mentions is the brain-gut axis. It's a complex network of communication pathways that link the brain and the gut, influencing physiological processes. The connection is mediated by the vagus nerve, neurotransmitters, and the gut microbiome. The microbiome has an influence on our bodies. This book explores the impact of the gut microbiome on mental and emotional well-being. The trillions of microorganisms in the gut play a role in digestion, nutrient absorption, and also communicate with the brain, which in turn influences our mood and cognitive function. According to Mayer, gut microbes influence our emotions by generating and modulating signals that the gut sends back to the brain and can sometimes prolong our emotional state. And of course, we have emotional and physical factors. Mayer delves into how emotions and physiological factors can influence gut function. Stress, anxiety, and other emotional states can impact the gut's motility, sensitivity, and overall health. He also mentions that disruptions in the mind-gut connection can contribute to various health conditions, including gastrointestinal disorders, autoimmune diseases, and mental health disorders. Understanding this connection can provide insights into disease prevention and management. It has also been discovered that over 95% of the body's serotonin is actually contained in specialized cells in the gut. And these cells specifically are influenced by what we eat. Oh, this one's really interesting. So neuroplasticity. Mayer explores the concept of neuroplasticity, highlighting the brain's ability to adapt and change based on experiences and environmental factors. This extends to the gut-brain axis, where changes in the gut can influence brain function and vice versa. So basically, Mayer is saying how the brain and gut are not independent of each other. They have a relationship, and things that occur in the gut influence the brain and vice versa. So they kind of rely on each other. But he does go on to point out that the gut can handle most of its activities without any interference from the brain. So he advocates that the gut can actually function without the brain telling it to, but the brain does in fact rely on the gut to send it information. But the gut can basically digest and metabolize on its own without commands from the neurotransmitters, which is great. That's really cool to know. Oh, and he also advocates for mindful eating and lifestyle. He emphasizes the importance of mindful eating and a healthy lifestyle in promoting a balanced mind-gut connection, which, as we learned last week, we learned about being a mindful eater and an intuitive eater. So these kind of go hand in hand. These are completely different research studies, but yet they still have one thing in common, and it's about having really good gut health and being a mindful eater. And he also mentions this really important fact as well, that he acknowledges that the mind-gut connection is highly individualized. Factors such as genetics, early life experiences, and environmental influences contribute to the uniqueness of each person's mind-gut relationship. So just like how everybody's fingerprint is independent of each other, our guts operate that way too. So no gut is the same. Now, Dr. Emran Mayer believes that the gut is not just a passive organ responsible for digestion, but is actively involved in regulating our emotions, mood, and even our behavior. Dr. Mayer believes that stress, emotions, and other psychological factors can have a profound impact on gut health and function, and that addressing these factors is key to treating gastrointestinal disorders. His work is motivated by a desire to improve the lives of those suffering from these conditions and to advance our understanding of the mind-gut connection. Now, I bet y'all are just racking your brains on what a microbiome even is. So I'm just going to dive into that for a quick second. The microbiome in the stomach refers to the community of microorganisms, primarily bacteria, that inhabit this part of the gastrointestinal tract. And here are some key functions of what our stomach microbiome does. It maintains our gut health, maintains digestion, protects us against pathogens. The stomach microbiome plays a role in protecting against pathogenic bacteria by competing for resources and producing antimicrobial compounds. It also helps us with immune function, as well as metabolism and obviously the brain-gut communication. Now, to deepen our understanding, let's discuss some specific ways Dr. Mayer explains how our gut can be affected. Stress and digestive issues. Stress can affect the gut, leading to symptoms such as abdominal pain, bloating, and changes in bowel habits. The brain and gut are closely connected, and any stress can disrupt the balance of bacteria in the gut. He also goes into mental health. Studies have shown that an imbalance in the gut microbiome, known as dysbiosis, gosh, such a difficult word, is associated with conditions such as depression, anxiety, and stress. He also goes into how food can alter our mood. He says that diets that have high processed foods and sugar have been linked to increased risk of depression and anxiety, versus if you have rich food in probiotics, then you're more likely to have a healthy microbiome in your gut and improved mood. He also says that practicing mindfulness and meditation can positively impact digestion by reducing stress. So as long as you're mindful of that, you're in good hands. And being mindful can also regulate the autonomic nervous system, which in turn leads to better digestive function. Now, dear listeners, please take a moment to absorb and reflect on the profound insights we've explored so far. The mind-gut connection is truly a journey worth contemplating. Let's talk about how we can apply these concepts in our daily lives. First, we can practice mindful eating. This book emphasizes the importance of mindful eating, such as paying attention to the sensory experience of each bite, savoring flavors, and recognizing feelings of hunger and fullness, which we should have learned last week with the anti-diet approach with intuitive eating. So these kind of go hand in hand, kind of piggyback off each other. And this practice can contribute to improved digestion and a healthier relationship with food, as we've already learned. Some stress reduction techniques are practicing deep breathing, meditation, or yoga, since now we know that our moods can influence our digestive system. These activities can positively influence gut-brain acid, potentially reducing symptoms of gastrointestinal discomfort. And then we also need to tune in and listen to gut signals. Becoming more attuned to our gut signals allows us to pay attention to how certain foods make us feel and adjusting our diet accordingly. Now, viewers, I do want to ask you one question. Based on what we discussed today, do you think our gut microbes manipulate our brains and make us eat, act, and live a certain way? I'd really love to hear your answers on social media, so definitely tune into this conversation if this intrigues you. I really want to hear your feedback. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us on this profound exploration of the mind-gut connection by Emerson Mayer, MD. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share our podcast if you enjoyed it. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep growing. I'm Erica, your host, signing off. Join us next week as we dive into body kindness.